Greetings and welcome back to Pathfinder. Now, I've been having a few issues with this recording, and I'll show you in a minute what I've been up to while I've been trying to record this. But, excuse me, I'm talking here. This is my fourth attempt to record. I had several crashes, just dumped me straight back to desktop. Then my entire machine switched itself off, which I assume was some kind of power surge, then I had to go to work. I come back, I start editing, and wouldn't you know it, there's no sound. For some reason, my recording software decided randomly to just completely ignore the fact that I had a microphone. So, I think the best thing to do is sort of explain what I'm doing here, because you may notice from the map, this is not the village near our base. Our base is over here. And what I did was I started here today. I wanted to take a break from the quest book. We explored these two castles, this graveyard. We walked all the way around here. I don't know why this is black. I have been there. Round here, checked out all these Dimlet houses and wound up at this village, which is where I am right now. It's not actually got anything very interesting in it, apart from a lot of very, very noisy people. But no sound, none of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a sort of time lapse, if you like, of running around exploring things from what footage I have managed to salvage. And then we will come back and see if we can't get somewhere else. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this house here might be a fun thing to check out, and then we'll maybe work our way sort of round here and back up towards home and see how far we get in the time that we've got. So enjoy my failed recording footage, and I will see you on the other side. Okay, so we're back. The village is behind me, along with all the noise, and we're just gonna head for these hills and see what we can find. So, yeah, the quest book at the moment is at a point where we're about to start a new chapter, where all of the quest icons are varieties of redstone block. They're all red in colour, so I am choosing to think of it as the red chapter. I'm not going to try and say the name's title because I can't pronounce it properly, but we'll get cracking on that probably in the next episode. It looks like it's going to be a lot of machine making and things. So, oh wow, there's a Dimlet house and a half. Let's go and have a look at that. I think this is one of those empty places. Yeah, it is with the upstairs. It's got nothing in there at all. So we'll head out this way and see what we can find. These wall structures very useful for resources, and I've crashed again. Okay, well that's going to get old very quickly. Yeah, lots of crashing problems. I suspect it's got something to do with the Windows update I had to suffer through this morning. That took an hour, 3 restarts, and an awful lot of frustration. It reinstated several default programs to my taskbar that I had taken pains to delete, and ever since then I haven't been able to play without crashing. So I'm going to blame Windows. I've made some adjustments to the new security settings, and I'm hoping that may have fixed the problem, but there's no guarantee. So yeah, this may well end up being an episode that is cut tragically short. We shall see. I think one more crash and I'm going to call it a day. So yeah, fingers crossed, folks, that we actually get something going on here. There's a big sort of pool coming up. So a little lake, lots of sand. That'll be handy to know about. I'm sure I will need plenty of glass. Like I say, the upcoming quests in the book look to be fairly technical. So I can imagine they will need an amount of glass and things. Let's go the long way around this mountain, because I don't have an awful lot of jetpack fuel left. Although, you know, 44% sounds like a lot, but you'd be amazed how fast it runs down. I lost like 5% going up a 2-floor jump earlier. So yeah. We'll save that for emergencies, I think. And yeah, this is more about opening up some of the map, having a look around, seeing if there's anything interesting to be poked about in, like little houses and stuff. I'm going to regret swimming this, aren't I? It's lovely scenery though. I do like the rivers in this particular map. They've done a good job of them. And loads and loads of animals around here. Yeah, noisy cows, I get you. Let's see what's around the corner. I'm not seeing any buildings in our way, but you never know, we might come across something interesting or unusual. It happens. Yeah, this is sort of like little cut-off islandy thing. That's very flat over there. I don't think there's anything over there for us. Oh, I thought we were crashing again then, but no, we're doing okay. We're reasonably stable. Maybe those changes I made actually did some good, or maybe I've just cursed myself. Who knows? Who knows? Alright, I'm going to get my lunchbox out. Yeah, this is some of the things I've picked up in various chests on my travels. Like I say, I'll pop that into a time lapse, and we'll, at least that way you'll get to see roughly what I was about. But yeah, it's been a frustrating day. Not least of which because it was interrupted by work and phone calls and people coming home from work and saying hello and wanting cups of tea and that kind of thing. So yeah, It's just been one of those days today, and I've got to get this recorded because I've got to upload it tonight, and it still needs editing, obviously, because I'm still recording it. This is an interesting, very flat area. I quite like this. I'm heading for this Dimlet house, which is kind of back in the direction of the first village, so I don't know if I've already raided it or not. It doesn't look familiar, but you never know. And that, just sort of north of me on the map at the moment, a very circular piece of sand. We're going to go and have a look at that. It may be a natural feature. It might not be. It might be something interesting. It looks like some kind of peculiar surface water rather than sort of surface pond or something. Definitely curious about that. Right, let's see what we've got in here. I haven't been in here before. I'll have those as well, please. I do like to collect them. Let's see, what have we got here? Skybody none, Sky Inferno, material white stained clay. Unknowns, of course, we get lots of those. Limestone and hardened clay. Put those in a bag and move on, I think. There's not much point in hanging about in these places. So let's head for this funny looking thing. Oh look, there's a mine up there. Didn't even notice that. Right, we'll have a look in that mine. They usually have quite good stuff in them. And then we'll go and see what that funny looking circle thing is. Well, we might actually be going past it on the way. Let's see. Oh no, it is something. It's just a bit of terrain, Jen. Looks very, very odd on the map. Well, we'll go and have a look in this mine anyway. I like the mines. They're always got something good in them. Although it feels weird having it on top of a hill. You don't think of that as somewhere that mines go. But yeah, let's go. Is it a chicken mine? It might be. We'll have a look. What have you got for me in here? Lots more Dimlets, some new shoes, more redstone alloy. I've collected a bit of that. Dark steel. Right, let's put those away. And I think I've got some redstone alloy already in here. Yes, I have. Gold and more unknown Dimlets. And the bread is always welcome as well. Let's see, we've got room in there for it. We have. Always worth coming in. They've always got these iron in. Unlike the castles, these are always identical. The castles we discovered earlier are ruined in different ways each time. I think we've got another empty house coming up here. Yes, it is. It's another empty house. This is feeling a lot more stable than before. It's not quite broken the record for recording time so far, but that was without mic, so may well have contributed to the amount of time it let me record for. I think I've gone full circle. These look familiar. And I think that lamp is on, isn't it? Have I been in here? Can soon tell. Yes, I have. Right, okay, let's start heading back home and see what we find along the way. Because we have got that village. Yeah, the first village, the village that I started at, the one labelled Village 2. Apart from a tinker's house, nothing much going on in there. There's another Dimlet house over there. Yeah, here are the castles that we had a look at earlier as well in the failed recordings. So there's that one, and there's another one a little bit past the gravestone that you can see in the top of the map there. Gravestone, graveyard. Let's see, let's go have a look at that Dimlet house and then head for home, I think. Because this has actually proved to be less... what's the word I'm looking for? Less productive outing than I'd hoped it would be. But it's always nice to have a little explore and see what resources you've got around the place. And picking up these Dimlets is also always very handy, especially if we're going to make another world sometime. Yep, definitely haven't been in here, the light's not on. This is quite a pretty little area as well, isn't it? I could see building something here if I was in a buildy type of mood. Let's see what kind of things we get in here. Molten gold, rocket fuel, and yellow stained clay. Okay. Let's put these away. Going to need another bag out in a minute. Feature Oregon. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I've got a couple of those up in the ship, and I have no idea what that might be. I don't know if Oregon has a particularly notable landscape. I suppose it probably does. A lot of the landscape in America is quite dramatic, but all I really know about Oregon is that the Oregon Trail, and that's about it. I'm afraid my experiences of America are limited to New York, where I spent 3 weeks as a teenager visiting family, and a very brief business trip to Kalamazoo in Michigan via an overnight stay in Chicago. So yeah, I haven't seen an awful lot of it, unfortunately. I would love to see more. And my sister did a kind of grand tour a few years back. Loved every minute of it. I mean, she did Yellowstone and Alaska, and visited family in Florida and New York, Washington, DC. She went to California and Las Vegas, where she was joined by a friend. It was an amazing sounding trip. I would have loved to have joined her, but I had children in school at that point, so it wasn't really practical. But not that I was invited or anything, you know, but I would have loved to do something similar, and maybe I will one day. You know, I'm not quite on my deathbed yet. Alright, here we are back at our sort of, what I think of as our home village. We should have our path around here somewhere that we can follow, and we'll be home in no time. And then I think it will be time to wrap things up, because I've no idea how much longer I'm going to actually have my game intact, and when it's going to crash on me next. And like I say, maybe I fixed it. I hope I fixed it. It seemed sensible. I suddenly noticed that the update had put a new security notification up, and I went into the settings and found that it was on hypervigilant mode, so hopefully switching most of that protection off has done me some good. It's really dark in here. Has it always been this dark in here? Oh yeah, and then there's this issue which I still haven't fixed, but I think I'm just going to change pipes and see how that works out. Let's see, that's all the food, isn't it? Where can we start putting some of this stuff that we found? Let's get the various metals out. We can melt those down if we get really short of iron. Take those out as well, and we'll take, I don't know why I'm carrying fences and things around with me, and I think we'll just leave the Dimlets where they are. We don't need them for anything, although I'll put those in another bag, and when we next go up to the ship we'll drop them off there. Let's put those away. What else can we put away here? The item frames can go away, they can go in there. We'll get organised eventually. Fence can, no, that's my lunchbox, thank you. Fence can go in there. Dimlet in there. So yeah, I think next time we'll get started on the next lot of quest lines. Let's get the book out and have a quick look at those. So we have finished all of the first one and all of the second one, which is the one I can't pronounce, And we're on to Intrepid, which, as I say, there's all these various redstone blocks, and we've got two choices. We can either go with the seed system that I've never come across before, that's going to be new to me, or we go with a dimension editor, which I think is about making your own Dimlets, but we'll look into those next time. So thank you very much for your patience, everybody. It's been a torrid day of recording. Let's get out into the sunlight here. I'm going to have to sort the lighting out in there. But really at this point there's nothing else to say except thank you very much for watching, even with all of the problems, and I'll see you next time.